Hey everyone, Mike Miller with the Herald Times, joined by IU basketball columnist Jeremy Price, coming to you after Indiana's 69-64 loss to Purdue. Lots to say about this one. I'm not feeling too good right now. I don't know if it's all the Papa John's I ate. I ate a lot of Papa John's tonight.
I'm pretty sure that's the problem.
Probably is. Or if it's the Blarge. The Blarge left me a little unsatisfied too.
Feeling a little bloated by the Blarge.
The Blarge, that was not good. The Blarge was not good. The block charge call late in this one that fouled out both Thomas Bryant and Caleb Swanigan, just a ridiculous play.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'll ever see something like that again. Just a strange moment there. We'll get to that, I guess. I just want to jump into the Blarge, I guess, right off the bat. But we'll build to the Blarge.
I will say this. It's strange because it is probably the most memorable play of the game, yet Indiana had really, in large part, already squandered its opportunity to win this game by the time that occurred. Now, maybe if that call goes differently, there's a better chance for Indiana to pull this out in some form or fashion. But, again, I mean, Indiana was 5 points behind in the final minute at that point, so it was still going to... Purdue would have had to open a door for them to still get there.
It would have taken some work, although that basket did go in, and you imagine if he hits the free throw, it's a 2-point game. So
Right.
It's certainly a momentum-changing play. There's no doubt about it, and we'll probably be talking about that for a little while too. But really, you wrote your column on this today. It was the details in this one cost Indiana, as they have at so many other points this season. It's just a team that just doesn't handle small segments in games very well. Just the little things. You look at that 2:30 left in the game. There was a missed shot, and P.J. Thompson just totally uncovered. What was it, Blackman down there on the block?
Yeah, Blackman fell asleep.
Yeah, Thompson
basically
gets a rebound, offensive rebound. He called his first offensive rebound of the season, I think he said after the game, and puts it in and gives Purdue, I believe, a 4-point lead. That was kind of indicative or just emblematic of the kind of struggles Indiana had just doing some of the basic things consistently tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point with this Indiana team, I don't know that it surprises anyone that those kind of things should occur. But the funny thing was that this was a night where neither team played, a great game by its standards. I think both teams feel like, man, we can play a lot better than that. We can shoot the ball a lot better than that. We can do a lot of things a lot better than that. And it was one of those nights that looked for a long time like Indiana was going to come away with one of those magical home court wins where even when things aren't really going right, they find a way to pull the game out. And really were in position to do so. But then basically the last 4.5 minutes was where all those details sort of reared their ugly head. I mean, had a bad turnover when Juwan Morgan tried to throw the ball into Thomas Bryant, just a silly play. You had that offensive rebound. There was another one but right before that where Vince Edwards had an offensive rebound and score. Indiana didn't call timeout on a possession. Wound up getting nothing out of it. They had a chance to tie there with, I think it was a minute and a half or so to go. Thomas Bryant never touched the ball, even though he was basically the only guy that could consistently do anything offensively in the second half. Purdue comes down at the other end. Purdue does call timeout, and they run the pick and roll to perfection. Caleb Swanigan gets a 3-point play. So it's those little details that were really the difference down the stretch in this one, and they were pretty much exclusively in the favor of Purdue.
Yeah, you look at foul trouble, too. This is a game that Indiana, almost from the very beginning, first early moments, Indiana was dealing with foul trouble. Thomas Bryant, Josh Newkirk had 2 very early. Morgan had 3 by halftime. Morgan fouled out with a minute left, and then seconds later you get the Blarge. And but I will say this, given the foul trouble, you do kind of tip your cap to guys like Zach McRoberts, Freddie McSwain, really gave Indiana some energy minutes off the bench. Both of them were active on the boards, which is probably their most important contributions that they can ever have. And they did that in some pretty important segments midway through that first half.
Right, I thought probably the best game of the season for Freddie McSwain. Yeah. 5 points, 5 rebounds, had a couple of putbacks, just was active throughout the night. And I thought played some good defense against Swanigan. At times he had to play Swanigan one-on-one down there and was really doing some battling in the post there, being very physical, fighting through there, something that, Indiana doesn't have a whole lot of options on that front, especially with the foul trouble. And, between the foul trouble and then Deron Davis getting hurt in the second half, there in the final minute after Morgan fouled out, you had McRoberts and McSwain, and after Bryant fouled out too, you had McRoberts and McSwain with the 3 guards basically, and that's not a lineup that you probably wanted to turn to in a 4 or 5 point game with Purdue down the stretch in the final minute.
So here you are, if you're Indiana, looking at I believe 6 remaining games, and You're looking at your other opportunities to really pad your postseason resume, and really outside of the trip to Mackey later this month, there's really not a whole lot that's going to move the needle. I mean, I hesitated calling this one a must-win just because losing it doesn't kill you, but
Right.
winning would have just been an outstanding boost for everything you need going into March. Michigan now is a must-win because you can't lose to Michigan twice. You can't lose at home. You have obviously a trip to Iowa,
Yep.
Minneapolis, and Ohio State to close it all out.
Yeah, I mean, Indiana only has 2 home games left.
Yeah.
Michigan and Northwestern. And they've already lost to both of those teams on the road. So, I mean, you can't call either one of those things a sure thing, but both of those things need to be wins. And at this point, we're not just talking NCAAs. I mean, we're talking, frankly, can they even make the NIT? I mean, with 6 games left and you're sitting at 15-10, you've got to get a couple wins just to stay over 500 to make the NIT at this point. And then we're talking Big Ten tournament seeding. I mean, right now the Big Ten is so clustered. I mean, you're 2 games from being in 4th place and a 2-round bye, and you're 2 games from being in next to last place. Rutgers has got a pretty good hold on last place still at the moment, but you're 2 games away from playing on the first day of the Big Ten tournament, which is kind of a problem with my flight, but we'll worry about that later.
We'll worry about that later, yeah. And that's amazing, too, because now you're also looking at that position where, you might need a couple games in the Big Ten tournament. Indiana hasn't won. For whatever reason, this program doesn't play well in the tournament. You guys all know that. They haven't won 2 games in the Big Ten tournament since, I believe, 2003, so it's been a heck of a long time. I was in diapers in 2003, so no, well, I was, but I shouldn't have been. Anyway, this is a bad way to end it. Did we sufficiently cover the Blarge? I shouldn't have gone there. It was a dumb joke. I'm going to regret that one. All right, we're back. You good? Oh, man. I killed him. I killed the man. So, all right.
Anyway,
we're back. We're back. Mike and Jeremy are back. We covered the Blarge, right? Sufficiently?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, on that note.
Anyway, Indiana's got a little work to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the good news is James Blackman Jr. was back tonight. For the good that it did, Indiana. I mean, didn't shoot well, but he looked healthy. And not in diapers.
All right. I think we're done here. Not a good end to this game for Indiana. Not a good end to this video for us. We're going to pack it up and try again. But hey, we'll be back at it, Saturday, previewing Michigan. Again, must-win game for Indiana. And we'll see where they go from here. So sorry.